Progress of Carol's piece has been interesting, actually, because when I first went to see Charlotte at the Forge to ask her about putting on the concert project, I mentioned to her that I was writing this piece for Carol Jarvis, and it turns out that Carol and Charlotte know each other. They both studied at the Royal Northern together, and Adam also at the Forge. They all know each other. So it was just really strange that this person that I'd met through social networking I've still yet had no direct contact with Carol. Everything's been via email, via Twitter, via Instagram. And it was really strange to go along and talk to Charlotte at the Forge and say, oh, I'm writing this piece for Carol Jarvis, and for her to go, oh, I know Carol, and is she going to come down and play, and she's a great musician, and the musical world is very, very small. So I had a meeting with Carol in February because my idea for the piece was to collect interviews from Carol and to incorporate that, to shape the piece around that. However, the time when I was due to go and see her, she was not well, and certainly not well enough to see me. So we've rescheduled for April. But meanwhile, I'm under a lot of time pressure to get... This is a big piece I'm thinking of compared to the other pieces that the Spikes are doing at the moment. And incorporating new ideas, bringing the interviews in, really writing the most personal piece that I've written yet. So I just followed my heart, and I've written Counting Magpies. And the way the music that's come out is, I've incorporated this sort of chattering style on trumpets with these great swoops on trombones, all obviously relating directly to the physical idea of a magpie. But the music is very, very dark, and it goes into this real dense, intense place, which was not necessarily where I set out to go, but it just made sense to go there. The music drove me, and Carol's story drove me more than me going, oh, I think I'll write this, that would be nice, or it would be appropriate, or it would be uplifting, which is where I started out with the piece. So I found this one a really, really interesting piece to write, because it's really felt like the music was out of my hands. So that's Counting Magpies. I took the first draft to the Spikes last week, and we ran through what I've got so far. There's a lot yet to bring in. Once I've got the interviews from Carol, then that's going to extend the piece, and I can finally shape parts of the music, which at the moment are fairly open. Once I've got these little things from Carol and I've met the lady that I'm writing the music for, then I think it will take final shape and will become the piece that is Counting Magpies for Carol. So I'll come back to you on that. It's going to be an interesting one.